Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. My name is Taddy G, and on this channel I like to share what it's truly like to run a clothing brand, as well as drop in tips, tricks, gems and all of that good stuff. Now, as you may or may not know, if you've been watching my videos, you will know that I am looking to start a wholesale blanks brand, and I am documenting the process of me looking to start my wholesale blanks brand. And in today's video, we are actually going to carry out together a SWOT analysis on my wholesale blanks brand. So let's dive straight into it. A SWOT analysis is a section that you will find in your business plan that assesses the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats of your business. So when it comes to strengths, we are looking at the positives of your business. So it could be things like you have unique designs, you have a good social media following, those sort of things. When we talk weaknesses, we are looking at things that you may need to improve within your brand. So maybe your social media presence isn't that great. In terms of opportunities, we are looking at external factors that could have a positive impact on your brand. So this could be things like emerging trends, more people being interested in whatever your business is. These are the sort of opportunities that we're talking about. And opportunities are things that you cannot quite control, but you definitely should be taking full advantage of them. And lastly, when we talk threats, these are things that impact your brand but in a negative way, and they are also things that you can't quite control. This could be things like costly live, so the cost of living crisis, or being in a space where the competition is just rife, like you have a lot of competitors. Carrying out a good and detailed SWOT analysis will allow you to really truly identify different aspects of your business that you can capitalize on and potential areas that you would need to prepare for. Because I am a firm believer of, how does the saying go? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst and expect nothing. So with that being all said, and you guys fully understanding what a SWOT analysis is, let's dive into a SWOT analysis for my wholesale clothing blanks brand. And I feel like that is such a mouthful to say, but let's start off positive and dive into the strengths of my clothing blanks brand. So the first strength I wrote down was I am going to be producing modern cuts, which I feel like when we look at some of the other like blanks brands that are popular out there, they definitely have lacked when it comes to some of the more modern cuts that people are interested in. So I definitely think that this is a big strength for my clothing blanks brand. My next strength is that my blanks are going to be completely, and guys, when I say completely, I really mean completely, they're going to be completely unbranded. There's not even going to be an element of a little tag that identifies the fact that you got the blank from me. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm a brand and I'm making this for the brands, and I know the things that used to irritate me when I used to buy blank. Even those that don't have a tag up here but still have that little size thing up here, I know that's a blank and that's annoying, because in what ordinary clothing do you see like a random size tag off to the left or right of the top of the t-shirt? Like, you don't see that. And a lot of these brands, they will still have the name of the blank like on the care label in the side there. I'm not even going to have that. Now let's talk about it in the comments. Do you think that that's gonna hurt me as a brand from a branding perspective? Because I don't know, but I suppose like I'm not about the branding in that sense. I'm about the branding when it comes to like everything else, but when it actually comes to the garment itself, it needs to be like it was coming from cut and sew, like you have cut and sewn it for yourself for your clothing brand. That is the vibe that I want to go for. So I don't think it's gonna hurt my brand too much, but that is definitely one of my strengths. It's gonna be completely unbranded. You will not see even a smidgen of branding on my blanks. Another strength is more like a personal strength, and that is that I am creating blanks as a brand for brands. So I am on both like sides of the table. I am both the business owner and the customer, which means that I am able to see both perspectives, and I feel like I am very much qualified for this job because I know what I would want as a brand, and that's exactly what I want to pave forward for my blanks brand. The next positive is you guys. I have a great, fantastic, engaged audience here on YouTube of over 22,000 subscribers. Thank you guys. And I feel like that is gonna be a huge strength for my clothing blanks. I am not somebody that's like literally starting from like zero. I already have quite a decent audience. I am going to be working with GSMs that I know are desirable for you guys because I have spoken to you guys. I know what GSMs you guys are looking for, and those are the kind of weights of t-shirts and hoodies that I am going to be working with. My final strength, and I do believe I probably have more strengths, but my final strength for this video is that I'm experienced in starting a brand, so I feel like I am already at an advantage. I have connections, I know what I'm doing, I understand about GSM, about cuts, about fabrics. I understand the sorts of questions I need to be asking new manufacturers. I understand a lot, and I feel like that is definitely a big strength for me and for this brand new brand that I am starting. So let's dive into my weaknesses. And obviously assessing the weaknesses of your business is gonna be a little bit like tough, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So when it comes to my clothing blanks brand, one of the biggest weaknesses I feel like I have is probably like low funding to little investment. So to start a clothing blanks brand properly, you do need like a high investment up front because you need to order all of that stock so that people are able to order multiples of that particular stock, because at the end of the day it's wholesale. So having low cash to start off with is definitely going to be a weakness, and I have to find a way to work around that so that it still works for my business. Feeding into that, because I have a lower startup cash, it means that I am going to have a limited range to start off with. So to start off with, it is likely that I'm going to start with t-shirts in 3 or 4 colors, really depending on how I'm feeling. So that is definitely going to be a limited range, but I am going to build on that. I was deciding whether or not I should have 3 product styles, so a t-shirt, a hoodie and some sweatpants, all in one color, or to provide t-shirts in different colors. And I feel like providing t-shirts in different colors makes more sense, and then as I build I can start to add different styles. I feel like that would make a lot more sense than diving into just having one color of t-shirts, hoodies and sweatpants. I feel like that doesn't really work. And also starting off with just t-shirts is gonna cost a lot less, which means that it's a little less risk. So those are the sorts of things I'm going to be thinking about when it comes to trying to work around my weaknesses. So my next weakness is having little to no presence on TikTok and Instagram. So obviously for my blanks brand, it is highly likely that I'm going to have to create a brand new Instagram account, and honestly guys, I can't lie to you, I'm dreading it and I might not actually do it. But for TikTok, I definitely will need to probably create a TikTok account for it. I do have my starter kit TikTok page, which I am working on, and it is steadily growing. So I'm thinking, do I just stick to that TikTok account and be promoting my starter kit along with my blanks on the same TikTok account? Like I don't know, because honestly having another social media like platform that I have to now manage as a singleton is probably gonna become the bane of my existence. But if anything, I definitely will need to create a TikTok account for this blanks brand, and not having it already is definitely a weakness. Potentially working with a new manufacturer. Now, if you know the struggle, the pain that I have been through when it comes to manufacturing, you will know why fear strikes my heart at the idea of working with a brand new clothing manufacturer. So that is definitely a weakness, and I feel like that could actually sit in threats as well. But yeah, competition. I am going to be going into this as a small fish in a massive pond, competing with the giants such as Gildan, Fruit of the Loom, American Apparel, all of those giants, and I'm just going to be there like trying to swim. So that is definitely going to be a really big weakness of my blanks brand. And the final weakness that I have is the higher price point. Because my t-shirt blanks are going to be a high GSM, and because I am ordering a low quantity, it means that my cost price is up, which means that my sell price that I'm gonna sell it to you guys for is gonna be relatively higher. So it is gonna be at a relatively higher price point, which is probably gonna be a bit of a weakness for my brand. But I am going to try my utmost to get the price as low as I can. I was thinking about delivery. So obviously, because my margins are probably gonna sit between like 30 to 40%, it means that I cannot offer free shipping. So I need to find a way that I can get really cheap shipping but still like good shipping. Like, I don't want to be using shipping companies that are going to leave your precious packages like outside. I want to make sure I'm using a good shipping company, but I also need to ensure that the price of shipping is not too high, so that when you guys go to click to check out, you're not seeing like £8.99 for shipping to the UK, if you get what I mean. So those are all of the weaknesses that I could think of for my blanks brand. So now let's dive into opportunities. So another positive before we end on threats, which is a negative. But yeah, opportunities. We are an ever growing community of clothing brand owners. You can tell by the amount of people that are subscribed to this channel. I can tell by the amount of people that visit my website. A lot of people are aspiring to start a clothing brand, and there's so much room at the table. Like, anyone can start a clothing brand, and for it to be successful, it doesn't matter that it does seem as if it is quite a saturated market. This is definitely a big opportunity for me. So I actually I was meant to film this, but I got stage fright. I pitched my brand to my local council, and there were other brands like pitching, and one of the brands that was also pitching was a young lad looking to start a clothing brand. And me and him, you know, we networked, we bounced off each other, and it just literally fed into the fact that this is definitely a viable business because this industry is growing. There's loads of people that want to start a clothing brand but may not necessarily have the funding to go down that cut and sew route. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity when it comes to that aspect. I have the opportunity to capitalize on the audience that I have here on YouTube, and also the potential audience that I'm going to grow on TikTok. So my new TikTok account, The Starter Kit, if you guys want to go and support that TikTok account, I will honestly truly appreciate it. That TikTok account is growing, and I definitely have a growth strategy for this year to actually fully grow that TikTok account. So watch this space, and if I'm successful, I'll definitely share that growth strategy. But that is a big opportunity to capitalize on my YouTube subscribers and also my potential TikTok followers too. Feeding into that a little bit more as well, I can also use you guys, not in a horrible way, but I can actually use you guys to shape the trajectory of my brand. So if you see my community tab, I am almost like every day even asking you guys different questions so that I know exactly how to shape this brand going forward, because it is for you guys. I'm making it for you. I am shaping it for you, and I feel like that is a really big opportunity that I have there. I also have the opportunity to explore sustainable practices, so still producing a good quality garment at a decent price, but also looking at sustainable practices and ensuring that I'm giving that nod to sustainability, especially in the climate that we're living in at the moment. I have the opportunity to provide you guys with a product that has all of the elements that I feel like you guys are going to be looking for, because I have this audience that I'm able to talk to and communicate with every single day. And lastly, here on YouTube, there's this thing where I actually have the opportunity to link products directly to YouTube videos. So that's definitely going to be a big opportunity that I'm going to have to capitalize on. Now lastly, let's look at some threats for my Clothing Blanks brand. So the first threat is obviously, I mentioned it as a weakness, but it is the intense competition of the industry that I am trying to enter. There are quite a few blanks brands out there, so I have to work out ways to distinguish myself from those blanks brands. I'm feeding into that a little bit more. Some of these more established wholesale blanks brands could find little old Taddy here on YouTube, take some of my concepts and do it better because they have more experience, more funding, more backing and all of that sort of stuff. So that is definitely a threat. We are in an ever-changing industry, so some of the things that I feel like you guys want, so we're talking the high GSMs, the cotton fabric, that could change like that, and then I will have to adapt and cater to you guys in a different way. Another big threat, so when I was pitching my brand in my local council, one of the questions that the panel actually asked me was, won't people then want to produce garments themselves? And I said, yeah, they probably will. And that is a threat. So people can move from using my garment blanks to wanting to actually move down the cut and sew route, and that is fine. It's just the way the cookie crumbles, but that is definitely a threat for my blanks brand. My manufacturer can just change their pricing. They could decide that they no longer want to work with me. This is definitely a big threat, and it's a scary threat. And lastly, the price of cotton can change. Cotton is a commodity and it fluctuates, so the price can change, it can increase, which is obviously gonna be a threat towards my business. So just to quickly conclude before my camera overheats, carrying out an honest SWOT analysis will honestly give me the opportunity to assess different aspects of my business and obviously capitalize on the positives, whilst also trying to limit some of the negatives and having things in place so that if such threats arise, I am able to combat them, I am ready for them, and I am able to provide a solution. So guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really hope that I have given you the motivation to actually carry out a SWOT analysis on your business so that you are more prepared for when you start running your business. Please don't forget to like this video. Let's talk in the comments, and please subscribe to my channel. I will catch you in my very next video. Bye.